Welcome to Secret Spaces, everybody. Thanks for coming. Secret Spaces is a weekly Twitter space featuring core Secret Network contributors, dApp developers, and news from around the ecosystem. And today we will be talking about Secret Surge. And if you haven't heard of Secret Surge, it started Monday, and it's a 6-month long campaign featuring DeFi incentives for secret dApps. And today we have a couple of those dApps with us. We have Shade Protocol and Blizzard. And also participating in Secret Surge will be Secret Swap and Sienna. They couldn't make it today, but we'll talk about them a little bit. And we'll talk about everything that Secret Surge includes. But to get started, since you came to this event, you can mint a free secret NFT. It's just a fun way to show that you were at the event. Just acts as a digital memento. If you check out the pinned tweet, you'll see a link in there to the Stash NFT marketplace. If you click that link and you put in the code UNLEASH, 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 that will allow you to mint a secret NFT with a Secret Surge theme on it. And with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and introduce our guest speakers. We have Nodefather from Blizzard, and we have Red-Eyed Bear from Shade Protocol. You want to go ahead and give yourself a quick intro, Nodefather?
Sure. I'm Nodefather from Blizzard Finance. I do infrastructure and wear whatever other hats I have to, but my specialty is infrastructure. And yeah.
Thanks. Red-Eyed Bear?
Hello, everyone. Hope everyone's having a good morning. My name is Red-Eyed Bear, and I'm here on behalf of Shade Protocol. With Shade Protocol, I primarily focus on marketing, but I also help out with operations as well.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Well, let me start out by talking a little bit more about the idea behind Secret Surge for those that aren't familiar with it. It started out as a proposal on the Secret Network forum from Secret Labs, and the basic idea was that there's been a lot of product launches happening on Secret over the past few weeks. We've had Shade Swap, we've had Shade Lend, we've had Silk, which is a stablecoin, a private stablecoin built by Shade Protocol. We have a new EVM bridge to Binance Smart Chain and Ethereum called Secret Tunnel, which is powered by Axelar. We have a new version of Secret tokens called SNP25, which is basically an improved version of Secret tokens. Includes some new features, including some additional privacy protections. And we also have a DeFi themed hackathon going on right now called Hack Secret. And all of these things going on at the same time, it just seemed like a perfect time to kind of give the Secret DeFi ecosystem an extra little boost, just to kind of support the growth of these new applications that are coming out. And that's the idea behind Secret Surge. So it's a 6-month long incentive program bringing up to $4 million worth of rewards to Secret DeFi dApps. And the way that works is the rewards are paid out in Secret tokens and the DEX tokens for each respective DEX that's participating in Secret Surge. So that's Shade Swap, Blizzard, Secret Swap 2.0, and Sienna. So you provide liquidity on these DEXs, and normally for providing liquidity, you already get some kind of rewards, usually in the form of DEX tokens. But with Secret Surge, you also get a added bonus, which is the Secret tokens on top of that. So if you've ever been curious about trying out Secret DeFi, if you've ever wondered, maybe what are the benefits of private DeFi and what all does it consist of, what kind of privacy is involved, this is just a little extra incentive on top of that to go check out these dApps and try them out and see what the Secret DeFi system is all about. So in addition to Blizzard and Shade, which are here today, we also have Secret Swap and Sienna, which are participating. Let me back up a little bit. So the Secret Surge campaign started on Monday, and currently Shade Swap is the only one that has Secret Surge rewards live right now. It's a DEX providing privacy protections. You can go provide liquidity on there right now and earn surge rewards. Coming soon, surge rewards will also be available on Blizzard, Sienna, and Secret Swap 2.0. We will put out additional announcements whenever rewards go live on those applications, but for now it's available on Shade Swap. So let's go ahead and start out with Shade Protocol since we have Red Eyed Bear from Shade here today. You want to go ahead and talk about what pools are incentivized with surge rewards and just, I guess, talk a little bit about the Shade Swap launches, the Shade Protocol launches that have happened over the past week, and then maybe talk a little bit about the rewards that are available.
Sure, I'd be happy to. Yeah, I just want to reiterate that this really is a unique opportunity right now in Secret Network for private DeFi. And it's incredibly encouraging to see both community and Secret Labs supporting this liquidity campaign for not only Shade Protocols, DEX, Shade Swap, but also the other DEXs in DeFi protocols and Secret Network. So it's really great to see from a team member's perspective to see this sort of kind of, not unequivocal, but like large majority of support for these DeFi applications. So during the Secret Surge liquidity campaign, users will be able to earn both Shade and V Secret in LP rewards for providing liquidity in Surge incentivized pools. What V Secret is effectively a new token that represents vested secret that can be redeemed one-to-one for stake secret, which is, if anyone's not familiar, stake secret. If you see it in text, it's STKD-SCRT. That is Shade Protocol's liquid staking derivative for Secret, the native gas token, governance token for Secret Network. So users will be able to redeem any V Secret that they earn in liquidity rewards for stake secret, this liquid staking derivative, through the use of Shade bonds. And I'll kind of go over that in just a minute. But the following pools are currently incentivized with these V Secret rewards. So we've got Secret Secret and Stake Secret. So that's a liquid staking derivative paired to its underlying L1. We've got Stake Secret and Shade, Silk and USDC, Silk and USDT, and then Silk and Stake Secret. So you'll probably notice that 3 out of 5 of these pairs that I just mentioned are Silk pools, which indicates to us as a protocol and to others outside the community that there's a strong support from the Secret Network community to help incentivize deep liquidity and utilization of Secret Network's first native stablecoin. And so we really want to incentivize users to not only utilize these DApps, but utilize the assets that are being incentivized. And so this is a really phenomenal way to kick things off, especially considering Silk launched last week. So we're incredibly excited to see the continued adoption. I can go into some DeFi stats a little bit more, but I'll stop here for now.
Got it. Thanks. Okay. Yeah. Let's we can go into that a little bit and just for now we'll hand it over to Nodefather and talk a little bit about Blizzard and what kind of incentivized pools will be available on Blizzard whenever it launches.
Sure. The starting pools for us are going to be wrapped BTC, wrapped ETH, and wrapped USDC in a tri pool. It's going to be weighted 40-40-20, with 20 being USDC. And then there's going to be a WBTC secret pool. It's going to be weighted 80-20 with secret at 20. And the third launch pair is going to be Axelar USDC and Axelar USDT. It'll be 50-50, and that'll be a stable pool. And after our LBE, which is where Snow will become available from the protocol, we will open up an ETH Snow pool, which will be 80-20, 20 being Snow.
Cool. And I don't want to put you on the spot or anything, but can you give any kind of timeline about when maybe that would be available? Probably in the next couple of weeks, I would imagine.
I hope it's not weeks. That would be outside.
Sorry.
That would be outside of our goals and such. This month is still the target for us, and
Okay,
even
cool.
looking at like the checklist this morning, it really is only front end stuff that is remaining. Uh, we do want to get, I mean, we could probably push it anyways, but there are just some front end things that we want to make sure that we take care of so there's a smooth experience for the LBE and other portions. So we're very close. We're not. It's not weeks. It should be this month, and I mean, yeah. I mean, I would say within a week. Let's say that.
Got it. Sounds good. And I don't want to speak for the other teams that aren't present, but for Secret Swap 2.0 and Sienna, I would say probably within the next few weeks as well, from what we've heard. Should be coming very soon. Secret Swap 2.0 is currently on testnet. I know they're doing testing every day, just getting everything ready, making sure it's ready for the mainnet launch. So I would say keep an eye out for that. And Sienna as well. They're just working on initializing their pools and figuring out exactly which ones are going to be incentivized. So we should be hearing more about that very soon. And then once those are available, you have 4 different secret dexes to choose from. You don't have to choose just one of them. You can choose all 4 if you'd like, and just provide liquidity and earn surge rewards. Let's talk a little bit more about the secret tunnel bridge and bridging assets over to secret, just in case people aren't familiar with that aspect, because in providing liquidity to these dexes, a lot of the times you'll probably need to bring in assets from other chains. There's multiple ways of doing that. Of course, you can do swaps, cross-chain swaps. There's a lot of aggregators out there that allow you to do that, making use of like centralized exchanges and things. But if you have assets sitting on like an EVM chain like Binance Smart Chain or Ethereum or Avalanche, Arbitrum, Polygon, something like that, you can now use the secret tunnel bridge to bridge those assets directly over. And the way that works is it's powered by Axelar. So first you swap your native assets on those chains to something like Axelar USDC or Axelar USDT. And then you can go to the secret tunnel bridge and you can bring those Axelar assets over. And you can easily deposit that liquidity on these secret dexes and start earning surge rewards. So if you haven't heard about Secret Tunnel, definitely check that out. And if you were using the old Secret Bridge in the past, uh, we've had the Ethereum and Binance Smart Chain bridges live for, I believe, almost a couple of years now. They've been around for a long time. If you had assets on those bridges, it would be a good time to go ahead and migrate those assets to the new bridge, just because over the next 6 months, that old bridge will be deprecated and shut down. Your assets aren't at risk of being lost or anything. They will be manually migrated at some point over the next 6 months, and there'll be a redeem process set up. But just to make things easier for you, if you want to go ahead and start migrating to the new bridge now, that's a great idea. There's a lot of benefits to doing that. Better uptime, new secret tokens, all that information is available in the pinned tweet. If you see that link to the Surge blog, that explains everything about the tunnel and Secret Surge and all that. But let's hand it back over to Shade Protocol and let's dive a little deeper into everything that you were talking about, Red Eyed Bear.
Yeah, sure. I also just want to highlight that, Secret Tunnels coming out, that's a really great tool for any users coming from the Ethereum ecosystem straight into Secret Network. But there's also, I believe, 4 other bridges that can currently be used or are popularly used to bridge assets into Secret Network. There's the Shade IBC bridge that we have on our application, app.shadeprotocol.io. There's the Dashboard bridge. There's Satellite Money, which is, I believe, that's powered by Axelar. I don't think it's built by the Axelar team specifically, but Squid Router, and then tunnels as well. So users have a ton of optionality in how they'd like to, or what bridge they'd like to use. For bridging assets directly into Shade, we obviously have a bridge on our application page, so it's fairly easy to use that and then automatically go into our application. So anyone looking to bridge assets from any Cosmos chain to Secret Network, highly suggest taking a look at some of these options. But to get into, some of the growth that we've seen since we launched. Shade Swap is, I believe we're just at 2 weeks now, like 2 weeks into the launch of Shade Swap. And I was looking at, some of our TVL metrics and some of our other DeFi metrics earlier, and we crossed 6 million in TVL last night. I believe we're currently sitting at just over 6 million in TVL right now, with the Silk Atom pair being the largest pair available on ShadeSwap. And we've also seen Silk adoption and the amount of Silk in circulation continue to grow over the week that Silk has been launched. I believe ShadeSwap launched on the 12th of April, and Silk and Shade Lend launched on April 19th. So we're looking at just a week since Silk has been, out in the wild. And so I believe the current supply of Silk circulating is right at 1.5 million Silk, which is it's an incredible feat for the protocol, and it's an incredible moment in time, I guess, for Secret Network. Seeing as Silk is Secret Network's first native stablecoin, being able to see that really strong adoption in the first week alone has been incredibly encouraging. We have been able to see a lot of the stability mechanisms for Silk starting to work in place. We've been able to see, the process of Silk going over peg and coming back to peg, which is really nice. Obviously, it takes time to see some of these stability mechanisms working in action, but we're seeing these working live right now as we speak. So that's also been incredibly encouraging from a protocol standpoint. But if there's anything in particular you'd like me to touch on with ShadeSwap and Silk, feel free to let me know.
I don't have anything particular in mind, but I did just pin a link to a tweet from CryptoCito. Carter from Shade Protocol was on his YouTube channel yesterday, and they had a pretty long talk, like an hour long. It was really great. Talked about all the things that Shade's been working on over the past couple years and everything they've launched recently, and also talked about a little bit of alpha. So definitely check that out if you're interested in what Shade Protocol has been building. Great way to learn more. Um,
I would say
yeah,
one other interesting thing, I guess, related to the launch of Swap and Lend. As far as I know, Stride assets and Axelar assets like USDC XLR and USDT XLR weren't supported on Secret Network prior to these launches, and since then we've seen an incredible influx of ST Atom, ST Osmo, um, and some other upcoming supported Stride liquid staking derivatives being bridged into the Secret Network, as well as USDC and USDT. Um, Currently, the largest collateral backing for Silk is ST Atom. I believe it's just under 50%, just slightly over the percent collateral backing of USDC. So that's a really interesting metric for a few different reasons, and I'm happy to kind of go into why I think that's interesting later. But it's been very nice to see these capital inflows coming into Secret Network, not only because they recognize the value of the capital efficiency that the novel curve that ShadeSwap utilizes provides, but also, the privacy preserving properties of providing liquidity and swapping on Secret Network. All of the swaps on ShadeSwap are 100% front running resistant, and couple that with the improved capital efficiency and asset utilization provided by the asymmetric curve that ShadeSwap uses, we're seeing a lot of users, a lot of power users utilizing ShadeSwap in order to facilitate trades between layer ones and their staking derivatives. And, I'm sure we'll see the usage of the curve to facilitate swaps to stablecoins increase as Silk's adoption and circulating supply increases as well. So just some observations from my side.
yeah, it was a great idea for you guys to support Stride assets. Very, very good foresight because Stride has really taken off lately. I know it's become one of the top Cosmos chains as far as IBC transfers. So a lot of a lot of liquid staking derivatives flowing through there, and a lot of it flowing towards Shade Protocol now, which is very cool. Yeah, let's go ahead and dive into that a little bit more. Let's talk about that curve and how that enables such low slippage on trades, which is pretty crazy. I know even in the early days, like a couple weeks ago when ShadeSwap first launched and there wasn't a whole lot of liquidity available yet, it's like a magic. You can still do a swap and there's almost no slippage, which is crazy. Can you talk a little bit about how that works? I know it's called concentrated liquidity, but for those who aren't familiar with what that word means, and myself even honestly, I could probably learn a little bit more about how exactly that works. That would be cool to talk a little bit more about.
Yeah, sure. I'd be happy to talk about this. I'll try and explain this in like a really easy way because even sometimes for myself, and I spend quite a bit of time reading over this and looking at it, even for myself sometimes, it's a bit hard to understand. But effectively, the difference, concentrated liquidity effectively allows liquidity to be concentrated in a very specific region along this trading curve where trades happen on a DEX. So with general concentrated liquidity, you have liquidity concentrated equally on both sides of that ideal trading range. So the difference with Shade's novel asymmetric concentrated liquidity curve is that the protocol has the ability to more granularly control how that liquidity is concentrated to the left and right of that ideal trading range. And so general regular concentrated liquidity works really well for stablecoins, things that generally trade at a expected trading range. So for dollar peg stablecoins, $2 peg stablecoins pegged to each other, they both are trading usually at $1. And so there's no reason to really concentrate liquidity too far outside of that swap range. But the asymmetric concentrated liquidity is actually quite applicable and powerful for swapping of layer one assets and their corresponding liquid staking derivative. And the reason this is because liquid staking derivatives almost never trade above their redemption rate. And the redemption rate is basically, I'll use Stake Secret as an example. If you were to go to Shade Protocol's application page, you go to the derivatives, you'll notice, under that staking user interface, you'll see some derivative statistics. And one of those is the redemption rate. So if you had one Stake Secret and you wanted to redeem that for the underlying secret and rewards that have accumulated, for every one Stake Secret, you would get I think the redemption rate is approximately like 1.3. So for every one Stake Secret, you would get 1.3 secret after that unbonding period. And so because of that, these liquid staking derivatives never really trade above their redemption rate, because if this were the case, it would be advantageous for a user to simply mint out that liquid staking derivative and then immediately sell it on a DEX for profit. So as a result, liquid staking derivatives usually trade slightly below their redemption rate. And this is advantageous, this can be kind of taken advantage of with Shade Protocol's asymmetric concentrated liquidity, as we wouldn't necessarily want to concentrate any liquidity or very much liquidity above that redemption rate. So what the asymmetric curve allows us to do is concentrate liquidity more slightly below that redemption rate or at that redemption rate, and effectively utilize the liquidity that's being provided in a more efficient way than something that's more symmetrical. If you need me to clarify anything, please feel free. I know I'm not perfect at explaining this.
No, no, it's fine. Hopefully, I didn't put you on the spot. I think you did a good job. It is
No,
very
no, no.
complicated
I
stuff.
enjoyed being put on the spot.
Yeah, very cool. But effectively, I mean, even if users don't understand exactly how all that works, the cool thing is it allows very low slippage on pools with even low liquidity, which is great. All right, let's talk a little bit more about Blizzard. We've been talking about Shade a lot. Let's hand it back over to Nodefather for a sec. So the DEX token of Blizzard is going to be called Snow, SNO, and there's going to be a way that you can stake Snow. Do you want to talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, sure. We put a lot of work into the tokenomics for snow staking and staking in general on Blizzard, which snow staking is really just one part of. We've seen kind of similar mechanisms with some pieces moved around elsewhere. I don't have a specific example to surface right now, but essentially, snow is the token which on Blizzard it essentially grants a user the ability to take a share of fees for swap fees across stable pools and across the other pools that we have um, on the platform. And the way that you get it is the most patient stakers, the people who stake the longest for the longest period, become eligible for 100% of uh, what their share would be, and the people who stake less than that forfeit percentages of their shares. There's a logic to it. There's like different phases. I'm not going to detail right now what those phases are, um, but it's flexible in that initially what's going to happen is any forfeited shares would uh, go into a pot, and that pot can be used for LP rewards or other user incentives. They're not core dev rewards or anything like that. They can either be directed to the remaining people in the pool, or they can be directed. They can either be directed to the remaining stakers that are staking snow, or they can be directed to an LP pool. But by default, it'll go to a pot for an LP pool. Um, and then beyond that, staking snow will also earn users emissions of a secondary coin, which has governance separated from the fee portion that snow is eligible for. So the long-term stakers of snow essentially are the largest recipients of governance powers, and snow is max supply 42 million, and 32F is inflationary. But again, the only way you can get 32F is really by being patient and being a long-term staker. Um, and beyond snow staking, there's also going to be the ability to stake the Cataclops collection for 32F emissions, and it'll work very similarly to the long term structure of snow staking. And users will also be able to stake steers, and which is another NFT collection coming. And then there's another existing NFT collection which will also be stakeable, which is Ample Agents. And all those NFTs, the emissions would be 32F. So it kind of allows us to have this system where today we have Blizzard about to launch. In the future, we're still working on stuff for DAO tooling. So this will be 32F will essentially be uh, governance across both of those things. And when it comes to the DAO tooling, we're building something general, but we're very focused on the straightforward, obvious DeFi use cases for that. I'm not going to dive way into that today because it's down the line, but uh, if you're looking for an example, just look to Balancer. Balancer has things like smart pools. We're strong believers in that there's very obvious, straightforward tie-in between DAO tooling and like DAO functionality and things like smart pools. So while we will be building generalized tooling for non-DeFi DAOs, uh, uh, the like how we tie it into Blizzard really is just focusing on the pool side and let's say the portfolio side and such.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Well, it sounds like there's a lot more coming for Blizzard, so definitely give them a follow. Keep an eye out on that. Should be a lot more coming in the next couple of weeks. We're about at the halfway point, so let's go ahead and If anybody in the audience has questions for Shade or Blizzard, go ahead and start sticking your hands up, and we'll take some questions from the audience. In the meantime, is there anything else that you guys didn't already cover that you'd like to talk about? Shade, we'll hand it off to you first.
Sure. Let's say I just briefly touch on the hackathon that's currently going on. I'm not sure if anyone in the audience is currently participating in Hack Secret, but it's a secret network hackathon that's going on for approximately a month. I believe it started. Patrick, if you have the start date off the top of your head, let me know. But I think we're like halfway through the hackathon right now.
Yeah, it was about 2 weeks ago, April 13th.
Okay, yeah. And so I've seen a really nice amount of builders and developers, both new and veteran, participating in Hack Secret. And I can only really speak to the individuals and questions that Shade Protocol has gotten in regards to the hackathon. I can't really speak for any of the other projects that are participating and sponsoring the hackathon, but the majority of the Hack Secret projects that Shade Protocol is sponsoring and hoping individuals build are related to off-chain services, which include arbitrage bots, liquidation bots, being able to build arbitrage services, you know, similar products to, white whale arbitrage that was built on Kujira and Terra. And then we've also got two larger scale products that are currently offered as a grant, like a larger grant. And so I believe we have one team that's working on one of the larger products, but I know there are at least a few teams or individuals that are building out some arbitrage bots and liquidation bots for Shade Swap and Shade Lend, which is really cool because as ShadeSwap continues to add additional support for Stride assets, other liquid staking derivative provider assets, these arbitrage opportunities are going to continue to grow. And so builders and users are both going to be able to benefit from the increased arbitrage activity on ShadeSwap, as this means that builders and individuals who deposit into vaults that these bots utilize will be able to earn additional funds. Also, that means trading prices on ShadeSwap are going to be a lot more accurate. Not that they're not accurate now, but the price fluctuations and the correlation with other pricing on other dexes is going to be a lot tighter. And then with liquidation bots, currently liquidations are facilitated by off-chain services for Shade Lend, and so anyone can call the liquidate function on any of the vaults for Shade Lend to be able to liquidate collateral that has been earmarked for liquidation. And so these other tracks related to liquidation bots are to encourage individuals to be able to build these bots to call the liquidate function, be able to earn money from helping keeping the liquidations rolling when necessary with Shade Lend. So we're incredibly excited about all three of the larger opportunities that users have when it comes to building products that support or integrate into Shade Protocol's dApps.
For sure, I'm glad you brought that up. I just pinned a tweet about Hack Secret for anybody that wants to learn more about that. It's kind of running in parallel to Secret Surge, and it even features the same dApps that are sponsoring Hack Secret are also involved in Secret Surge. So you have Shade, Blizzard, Secret Swap, and Sienna. And then you also have White Whale, which is also an additional Hack Secret sponsor, which is pretty cool. Somebody from outside of the secret ecosystem is participating. But if you've ever been interested in learning how to develop a secret app, or maybe just interested in learning how to get started developing in Web3 in general, it is a great opportunity, no matter what your current skill level is. If you've never developed anything before, maybe maybe a little too advanced for that, but if you have any kind of development experience at all, it's a great opportunity. You don't have to actually compete in the hackathon to benefit from it, because every week we're having public workshops going on in the Secret Network Discord. Um, So if you have any interest in learning how to develop, just check out that tweet, click on the Hack Secret link, and sign up for the hackathon, and that will get you some more information about it. And you can check out the schedule, and you can join some of those public workshops on Discord and just start learning. You can jump right in and start learning. Great opportunity.
Yeah,
So,
the organizers for this hackathon have been doing an incredible job coordinating office hours for developers and being able to forward any questions to, again, I can only speak for Shade Protocol, but they've done an incredible job pushing any questions to us regarding any necessary material, documentation, being able to provide any clarity around, milestones or expectations, success criteria, as well as just providing general support for any individuals that are looking for help. So, like Patrick said, you don't need to be, a full stack developer. You don't need to be a veteran smart contract developer to participate and learn and potentially earn in Hack Secret. So, definitely suggest looking at the opportunities, checking out the schedule, and seeing how Hack Secret can help benefit you if you're interested in building.
yep. And earning is a good point too. I didn't mention there is also a 50,000 USD prize pool if you are at the level where you can actually compete and build something in the hackathon. So check that out. Great opportunity. And all of that material that's being streamed each week in the Discord is actually being recorded as well. So even if you're not able to make it to the live presentations, then you can check that out later on. I imagine we'll probably upload it to the Secret Network YouTube, but it'll definitely be available somewhere for you to learn from. I'm going to do one more request from the audience. If anybody has any questions, go ahead and put your hands up. But if not, we'll go ahead and start wrapping things up. Anything else that Blizzard or Shade would like to say before we wrap things up?
I guess I'll just add that I know that not everybody in DeFi is interested in NFTs, but we are doing the Steer collection and we're taking a more DeFi approach to it, let's say. So all the proceeds from that will be put into protocol-owned liquidity for Blizzard, and the artist is, you know, without going into deep details, they're going to get some snow, let's say, and yeah, there's going to be stake to access for staking snow, as well as staking the NFTs I mentioned earlier for a room that we have on Telegram called the Igloo. There will be a threshold for staking snow, and I guess the threshold for NFTs is really you just need to have one and have it staked. So it's a little different than the other stake to access things that we've seen. You can't just own the NFT and gain access. You actually have to stake it to have access. And yeah, that's all I got for right now.
Yeah, from my side, I would suggest everyone who's interested in learning a bit more about how to use Shade Swap and how to use Shade Lend, I highly suggest you checking out the Shade Protocol YouTube channel. We've released a few different tutorials over the past few days on how to use Shade Swap, how to LP, how to stake your LP tokens. We've got an advanced version that shows how to provide custom LP ratios, how to choose route selections, participate in arbitrage opportunities. We also just put out two brand new tutorials, one on how to perform leverage staking. So TLDR on that, anyone who wishes to long or provide additional yield for their staked assets can use this strategy to amplify the staking yields from their staked assets. So I highly suggest checking that out if you're interested in some sort of leverage strategies using the Shade Protocol dApps. And then also related to Secret Surge, we just put out a tutorial on how to earn vSecret on ShadeSwap, and not only how to earn, but also how to redeem vSecret within the Shade Protocol dApp ecosystem. So highly suggest everyone go check out Shade Protocol YouTube, subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any of our tutorials that are coming out, and definitely give them a watch.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Nodefather and Red Eyed Bear, for being here today. And thanks to all of you for coming and listening. Make sure you check out Secret Surge. Over the next couple of weeks, we'll be releasing more content on that as Blizzard and Secret Swap 2.0 and Sienna activate their Surge rewards. So lots to look forward to over the next couple of weeks. In addition to that, we also have the Hack Secret Hackathon going on. Make sure you check that out. And we'll be back next week on Secret Spaces at Tuesday at 4 p.m. UTC. So we'll see you there. Have a good week, everybody.